The year is 1844, a small village in Germany, Rocken. This is where Friedrich Nietzsche is born, a child destined for greatness and sorrow. His father, a Lutheran pastor, casts a long shadow, a shadow that disappears too soon. Nietzsche is just 5 years old when his father dies. The family is shattered. They move to Naumburg. Here, young Friedrich grows up surrounded by women, his mother, sister, grandmother, and 2 aunts. A world of piety and intellect. The seeds of genius are sown, but Nietzsche's path will not be one of traditional faith. Even as a child, Nietzsche questions, he observes. He feels the weight of existence. The loss of his father marks him deeply. A longing for something more takes root, a yearning to understand the human condition. Nietzsche excels in his studies. Languages, theology, music, he devours knowledge. From a young age, his intellectual curiosity knows no bounds. He immerses himself in the world of ideas, constantly seeking to understand the deeper truths of life. His passion for learning is evident in every subject he touches. He is a brilliant student, a prodigy. His teachers and peers are in awe of his capabilities. They see in him a mind that is not just absorbing information, but one that is constantly questioning, analyzing, and synthesizing new ideas. His brilliance is not just in his academic achievements, but in his unique way of thinking. At the prestigious University of Bonn, he studies theology and classical philology. These subjects provide him with a foundation in understanding the human condition, history, and culture. He delves deep into ancient texts, finding connections between the past and the present. But Bonn does not hold him for long. The environment, though intellectually stimulating, feels limiting to his expansive mind. He seeks more, something that can challenge him further and push the boundaries of his understanding. He yearns for a deeper engagement with the classics. The ancient texts call to him, offering a wealth of wisdom and insight that he feels compelled to explore. His passion for classical literature becomes a driving force in his academic journey. He moves on to the University of Leipzig. Here he finds a new environment that is more aligned with his intellectual pursuits. The university offers him the resources and the freedom to explore his interests in greater depth. Here he discovers the work that will change his life. In the vast library of the University of Leipzig, he stumbles upon a book that speaks to his soul, The Birth of Tragedy by Arthur Schopenhauer. This book becomes a pivotal point in his intellectual journey. Schopenhauer's ideas resonate with him on a profound level, offering a new perspective on life and existence. Schopenhauer's philosophy resonates deeply with Nietzsche. The concepts of will, suffering, and the nature of reality align with Nietzsche's own thoughts and experiences. He finds in Schopenhauer a kindred spirit, someone who understands the complexities of the human condition, a shared sense of the tragic nature of existence. This idea becomes a central theme in Nietzsche's own work. He begins to explore the depths of human suffering, the meaning of life, and the role of art and culture in shaping our understanding of the world. At the astonishingly young age of 24, Nietzsche is offered a professorship at the University of Basel. This is a remarkable achievement, a testament to his intellectual prowess and the impact of his ideas. He is a rising star in the academic world. His lectures are electrifying, his ideas challenging. Students flock to his classes, eager to hear his thoughts and engage in lively debates. His presence in the academic community is nothing short of revolutionary, but Nietzsche's time in academia will be short-lived. His health deteriorates. The intense intellectual and emotional demands of his work take a toll on his physical well-being. Despite his passion and dedication, his body cannot keep up with the relentless pace of his mind. His philosophical inquiries lead him further and further away from the confines of traditional thought. He begins to question everything, challenging the established norms and beliefs of his time. His work becomes increasingly radical, pushing the boundaries of what is considered acceptable in the academic world. Nietzsche's journey is one of relentless pursuit of truth, a quest that will leave an indelible mark on the world of philosophy. Nietzsche's first major work explodes onto the scene, The Birth of Tragedy. This book is not just a scholarly text, it is a manifesto, a declaration of war against the conventional wisdom of his time. A radical reinterpretation of ancient Greek culture, Nietzsche dives deep into the heart of ancient Greece, unearthing layers of meaning that had been buried under centuries of scholarly interpretation. He challenges the traditional view of Greek tragedy as an expression of Apollonian harmony. For Nietzsche, Greek tragedy is not merely a celebration of order and reason. Instead, Nietzsche sees a darker, more primal force at play, the Dionysian. This force is wild, untamed, and deeply connected to the raw, instinctual aspects of human nature. The Dionysian represents the irrational, the instinctual, the chaotic. It is the force that disrupts the calm surface of Apollonian order, bringing with it a sense of ecstatic frenzy and creative destruction. Nietzsche argues that it is the interplay between the Apollonian and the Dionysian that gives birth to true art. This dynamic tension, this constant push and pull is what fuels the creative process and gives rise to the most profound artistic expressions. The Birth of Tragedy is a tour de force. It is a work that defies easy categorization, blending philosophy, art criticism, and cultural history into a single compelling narrative. It establishes Nietzsche as a major philosophical voice. With this book, Nietzsche announces himself to the world as a thinker of immense originality and daring, but it is also a controversial work. Its radical ideas and bold assertions provoke strong reactions, both positive and negative, one that challenges the very foundations of Western thought. Nietzsche's critique of traditional values and his call for a re-evaluation of all values strike at the heart of established norms and beliefs. Nietzsche's philosophical journey has just begun. The Birth of Tragedy is only the first step in a long and complex intellectual odyssey. He will go on to write a series of groundbreaking works. Thus spoke Zarathustra, Beyond Good and Evil. Each of these works builds on the ideas first introduced in The Birth of Tragedy, expanding and deepening Nietzsche's philosophical vision. On the genealogy of morality, each one a challenge, a provocation. These works are not just academic exercises, they are calls to action, demands for a fundamental rethinking of our most basic assumptions, a demand to re-evaluate everything we think we know. Nietzsche's philosophy is a relentless quest for truth, a journey into the depths of human experience and the mysteries of existence. It is a challenge to all of us to look beyond the surface, to question the status quo, and to seek out new and deeper understandings of ourselves and the world around us. God is dead. These three words, uttered by a madman in the gay science, become synonymous with Nietzsche's philosophy. They are not just a provocative statement, but a profound declaration that challenges the very bedrock of Western civilization. It is a statement that shakes Western civilization to its core, reverberating through the halls of philosophy, theology, and culture. Nietzsche is not making a literal claim. He is not suggesting that a deity, a supernatural being, has perished. He is not arguing that God as a supernatural being ever existed in the first place. Instead, his point is far more profound and far-reaching. His point is far more profound. He is declaring the death of God as an idea, as a concept that has underpinned human thought and morality for centuries. He is declaring the death of God as an idea. This idea, which once served as the ultimate source of absolute truth and morality, is now seen as obsolete. As a source of absolute truth and morality, the concept of God has been the cornerstone of Western civilization. But Nietzsche sees this foundation crumbling under the weight of modernity. For centuries, God has served as the foundation of Western thought and values. This divine authority provided a sense of order, purpose, and meaning to human existence. Nietzsche sees this foundation crumbling. The pillars that once held up the edifice of Western civilization are now eroding. The Enlightenment, the rise of science, the increasing secularization of society, these movements have all contributed to the erosion of the belief in a divine order. All of these factors have contributed to the death of God. The Enlightenment brought reason and empirical evidence to the forefront, challenging religious dogma. This death leaves a void that is both terrifying and exhilarating, a terrifying and exhilarating void. Terrifying because it forces us to confront the abyss of meaninglessness, the possibility that life has no inherent purpose. Terrifying because it forces us to confront the abyss of meaninglessness. Without a divine anchor, we are left to navigate the vast, uncharted waters of existence on our own. Exhilarating because it frees us to create our own values. In the absence of a divine mandate, we have the freedom to define our own purpose and meaning. to become the masters of our own destiny. This newfound freedom is both a burden and a blessing, offering us the chance to shape our lives according to our own vision and values. Nietzsche's proclamation is a call to embrace this freedom, to rise to the challenge of creating a life of meaning in a world without inherent purpose. It is an invitation to engage deeply with the existential questions that define the human experience. In today's world, Nietzsche's claim continues to resonate. As we grapple with rapid technological advancements and shifting cultural landscapes, the question of how to find meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe remains as relevant as ever. Yet in this void, there is also potential for profound connection and community. By acknowledging the death of old certainties, we can come together to forge new paths and shared values. The death of God, as Nietzsche envisioned, is not an end, but a beginning. It is an opportunity for human creativity and innovation to flourish, unbound by traditional constraints. It challenges us to explore new ideas, to question deeply held beliefs, and to engage in meaningful dialogue about the nature of existence and the future of humanity. In a globally interconnected world, this dialogue becomes even more crucial. By embracing diverse perspectives, we can build a more inclusive and thoughtful society. Nietzsche's earth-shattering claim, then, is not just a declaration of an end, but a herald of new beginnings. It is a call to courage, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of truth and meaning in our lives. Into this void steps the Übermensch, the overman, Nietzsche's vision of the ideal human being. The Übermensch is not a product of evolution, nor is it a goal that can be achieved through passive hope. The Übermensch is a creation, a self-overcoming. The driving force behind this self-overcoming is the will to power. This is not simply a lust for domination or control over others. It is a much broader and more fundamental concept. For Nietzsche, the will to power is the fundamental principle of life itself. It is the urge to grow, to expand, to overcome resistance, to create. The Übermensch embraces the will to power in all its fullness. They do not shy away from difficulty or suffering. They embrace life in all its complexity and contradiction. They are creators of values, lawgivers unto themselves. Imagine this. What if you had to live your life over and over again? Every joy, every sorrow, every triumph, every failure, the same events unfolding in the same sequence for all eternity. This is the terrifying and exhilarating concept of eternal recurrence. Nietzsche presents this thought experiment not as a literal truth, but as a test, a way to gauge the quality of our lives. Could you face the prospect of living your life exactly as it is, an infinite number of times without despair? If the answer is no, then it is a sign that your life needs to change. Eternal recurrence is a call to action, a challenge to live a life worthy of being lived again and again. It is a rejection of nihilism and a celebration of the inherent value of existence.